Support for Radio Friends comes from Columbia Healthy Smiles, the dental office of husband and wife team Dr. Batson and Dr. Abe, offering comprehensive and customized care to patients of all ages. Learn more by calling 573-721-9039 or online at www.columbiahealthysmiles.com. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, January the 18th. Normally I would be introducing right now Nanette Ward from the Stop Human Trafficking Coalition of Central Missouri. Nanette had an emergency this morning, so we have April
Rothweiler.
Thank you for saving me there, April.
No worries.
April Rothweiler. And you wanted to talk about several different topics today. First of all, explain the organization.
Absolutely. So the Stop Human Trafficking Coalition of Central Missouri has been serving the local communities in the mid-Missouri area for around 15 years now. What we do is we walk alongside survivors of both sex and labor trafficking holistically. And what that can look like on a daily basis is providing a safe place to stay with housing, transportation, help to get both physical and mental services, health services. We help with cell phones, food insecurity, all kinds of different things that someone might face when they're coming back out of the trafficking.
And you know, a lot of times people don't realize how big of a problem we have right here in Central Missouri. I know until I started talking to Nanette many years ago, I thought here in this region, it was non-existent. Here we are, we're in the middle of the country. We're not on the East Coast or West Coast or down south, but we have a big problem here with trafficking.
We do. And January is actually National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. So we're really trying to focus on that and bring some more awareness. We like to call it awareness to action. So we provide free education sessions to the general public or anyone who would invite us in. And we challenge anyone who comes in to then use what they've learned and put that into action so that they can be a part of the solution rather than the problem.
So you will go and speak to churches and other organizations.
Absolutely.
About how to be on the lookout for trafficking.
Yes, and how to take some different action steps toward maybe assisting victims that would like to become survivors and get out of the life, and different ways that you can be involved in your local community to spread awareness.
How many victims would you say that your organization has helped over the years?
Oh boy. Well, I brought our stat card for just this past year in 2022, and we provided over 365 nights of emergency lodging so far. And
365 nights?
Yes.
That's over a year's worth of lodging.
And we served just under 80 survivors in 2022. And 6 of those survivors were just in December. And we also provided about 374 plus meals, provided 16 new cell phones with 43 months of cellular service, and almost 300 Uber rides. And that's to different, it might be to jobs, it might be to healthcare, to the grocery store, various places. So
how do these survivors come to you? How do you reach out to them?
Well, a lot of times they're referred to us, and those referrals come from all kinds of places, the police department, the hospitals, individuals who might know of people who are in these trafficking situations.
Okay, how does somebody like me or our listeners, how can you identify that someone is in a situation where they need assistance, that they are not there of their own free will?
Well, I can give you a couple small pointers. It would take a lot longer to go over the whole list, but some red flags are when someone comes in and maybe they're accompanied by someone else and they're not speaking for themselves or making eye contact. they're looking uncomfortable and someone else is presenting their documentation or speaking for them, that's a good sign of that person.
But so then what do you do? What can you do at that point? You can't snatch that person away.
No, definitely not. And you wouldn't want to put them in danger by saying something in front of the individual that they're with. So at that point, depending on where if you're in the healthcare services and they're coming in for services, there are some ways that you could separate that person to ask them if they need help by saying that you need to maybe do some tests or something that they would need to come in alone for. There are some methods, and I would encourage anyone who would like to learn more about that to come to one of our free trainings. We're actually, on January 23rd at the Columbia Public Library, we're hosting a whole day of activities in honor of National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month.
Okay, what day is that?
January 23rd, and it'll be all day long at the Columbia Public Library in the Friends Room.
Do people need to register ahead of time?
Absolutely not.
Just come in.
Yes. Come on in. We'll be hosting different activities during the day, and one of those activities is going to be a free training for the general public. We'll be going over the basics of human trafficking and some steps you can take to be able to tell if you're maybe in the presence of a survivor or a victim, and some steps that you can take moving forward to take that awareness into action at that point.
Yeah, it's when I think about this, it's mind-boggling that we do have this happening right here, right under our noses. Would you say one reason is because of access to the interstate highway system?
That's one of many reasons, yes. We have great access, unfortunately. We're on a hub, right, where we've got two highways intersecting, and there are a lot of places along the way that people can purchase.
What can somebody listening to us, how can they tell if they perhaps could end up as a victim? Because a lot of times victims don't realize that they are potential victims.
And sometimes victims don't realize that they are being trafficked. Most traffickers do what we call grooming, which is where they will start spending time with an individual to gain their trust, and then they slowly alienate them from their friends and family. And that's a really good red flag. If someone is trying to separate you from your friends and family and take control over your life, that's a really good sign that it is a bad situation and you need to get out
of it.
Yes.
You need to get out of it and talk to somebody about it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much. If people want more information, the website is help, or the email address. The email address is help@stophumantraffickingmo.com. And don't forget the date at the Columbia Regional Library.
January 23rd. And you
long.
can look on our Facebook page for more updates on exactly what we'll be doing that day.
Okay. Thank you so much, and continued success with what you're doing.
Yes, thank you.
Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu, if there's something you'd like to hear or see. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.